By the end of the month, thousands of high school students across the country will have donned their caps and gowns and received proof that they can meet the nation's minimal education expectations. Shortly afterwards, they will drop the gown and proceed to pack into a basement or empty field to wash the last 4 years in cheap beer and wine coolers. When they wake up the next morning, they, as a graduating class, will have killed 9 people. Teen alcohol use kills 4,700 people every year, and more than all other illegal drugs combined. I firmly believe that the national drinking age should not be lowered and should remain 21, despite repeated calls for it to once again be lowered. To prove my opinion in an accurate one, I will briefly go over the history of the drinking age in the United States, review the dangers of the current age levels and trends, and finally discuss the increased dangers that could result from the lowering of the legal drinking limit. On July 17, 1984, the United States government passed the National Minimal Drinking Age Act, all but forcing states to raise the minimal drinking age to 21 years old. Before that time, the first ever restriction on alcohol came about in the 1920s, when Prohibition made it completely illegal to possess, sell, or manufacture intoxicating liquor. 13 years later, the 21st Amendment efficiently ended the prohibition, with the vast majority of states establishing a legal age limit of 21. However, shortly after 18 years, received the right to vote via 26th Amendment. The majority of states followed suit by lowering the drinking age to 18, 19, or 20. After 2 decades of teen boozing through the 70s and 80s, public opinion again shifted, and a steady increase in teen alcohol abuse and alcohol-related deaths pushed policy makers to establish a new precedent for underage conception, communicating in the National Minimal Drinking Age Act. While there is an ever-increasing amount of discussion and disagreement in regards to what the minimal age should be, there is a very little disagreement to the negative effects drinking at such a young age can have on the youth in the long run. According to the National Institute of Drug Use and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, high school students who use alcohol or other substances are 5 times more likely to drop out of school and 7 times more likely to be in an alcohol-related crash. On top of that, the number of underage drinkers continue to increase, putting thousands of more kids at risk every single day. According to the research by the University of Michigan, over 40% of all 10th graders drink alcohol. Even as more and more kids continue to pick up bottles, more and more parents seem to turn a blind eye or simply miss the science altogether. In 2014, a survey on drug and alcohol abuse recorded that 1 in 7 teen binge drinking regularly, but only 1 in 100 parents believe their children drink. The full title of the Minimal Drinking Age Act reads, "An act to encourage a uniform minimal drinking age of 21 to combat drug driving, improve law enforcement, and provide incentives to the states to reduce drunk driving." The very title of the act describes 3 goals that are undoubtedly desirable to the United States population. The lowering of the drinking age below 21 would be a step directly against the Act of '84, and therefore a move directly away from 3 goals it outlines. With so many concrete links between underage drinking and negative consequences, providing a legal means for America's youth to acquire a substance that results in more and more deaths each and every year is absurd. After a quick review on the history of underage drinking, I've shed light on the dangers associated with teenagers' conceptions and discussed the increased problems that could arise in the Minimal Drinking Age Act of 1984 is reversed or adjusted below the current age restriction of 21 years. I firmly believe that the current drinking age should remain in place as we continue to try and educate our youth on the danger of early conception of alcohol, forcing more on the lives of that we lose every year to underage drinking instead of creating more ways for them to occur.
Thank you.